Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm Go Local News editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for joining us for the 4 o'clock show. We had softball, we had politics, and now we've got the business of fashion. I'd like to welcome in a regular Jim Fortier with Blueprint 5. Thank you for joining us today.
It's such a pleasure.
It's July 31st. You were in the height of summer fashion at the moment.
Yes.
But heaven knows the fashion industry is always looking at the next season.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to talk men's fall fashions, and you've got a few. You've got one on the mannequin behind us here, but let's just start before we even go into the clothing. What are you stocking up with at Blueprint 5? What are we going to see on the well-dressed man this fall?
So this year is, it's all about the beautiful tweed fabrics. It's going, taking a step back to the classics, but modernizing them just a little bit. In other words, you're taking a beautiful gray flannel suit, which I brought with me, and maybe doing it in a little bit more modern silhouette, maybe doing it in a peak lapel as opposed to a notch lapel like this, just giving it a little bit more life and a little bit more zest by just tweaking it that way.
And so what's the inventory at Blueprint right now? Is it 50-50 with the folks who want to still find a summer shirt but are itching to get into the fun fall fashion?
It's not 50-50. Fall's coming in every day now because Italy has shipped already because they close in August, those lucky Italians.
Are they all going on vacation? Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I know, I've got all the stuff.
Like we should be right now. But so there's some fall in, which is great. I love having fall in the store. There's some trousers, there's some suits, there's some sweaters. But we're still 100, almost 100%, summer, because it's still the dog days of summer of August. There's bathing suits and shorts and t-shirts and great casual pants and jeans and everything that you need for summer. So that's still all there. But we are getting the fall in right now, which I like because it's, making it tasty.
Start getting excited. Do you have the pumpkin spice yet?
I'm just not going to stick with that far. Please.
So let's start talking about some of the items that you brought in for us. As you said, taking a spin on the classics, giving it some updates. This, for instance.
So this is definitely a spin on the classics, and I don't know if I'm going to be in shot or not, but so this is a beautiful woolen cashmere sweater from Cividini. It's a quarter zip sweater. It's got pulls at the top, and it's got pulls at the bottom for, to draw it in. But what I love about this is what's really unusual is this cool nylon hoodie that's on the back of it. So it's a sweater that's a hoodie, very different, very unusual. You won't see this anywhere else, I don't think, in the area. No one else has this line, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to step up here for a quick second.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull this bad boy off because underneath we have an amazing sweater. This is cotton and wool, and if you feel this, this is like, there's almost nothing there. It's super, super light, super, super comfortable. You can wear it actually now.
I was going to say, this is a nice transition piece.
Yes, it's a beautiful transition piece. 100% made in Italy, super, super soft, super classic, double zip, love it, love it, love it. Navy, so, a lot of guys like navy, but this blue trim on the inside.
I was going to say, how much do you see of that? I see it all the time, those just tiny little subtle accent trim. Like, trim is so big. It's not just the color, it's the secondary color.
It is the secondary color.
It could even be the zip itself.
It could, it's just those attention to details, that's what we're about. Just the little tiny things that make you go, oh, that guy thought about what he was buying. Yeah.
And what's this material?
This is wool and cotton.
Okay.
But it's a very fine wool.
Is it breathable?
Oh yeah. Can't you smell it? Can't you smell it? Can't you feel it breathing now?
I can feel it. I can feel it breathing.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have other items you want to put on the mannequin?
No.
Okay.
I'm just going to show you things.
Keep bringing stuff over.
I'm going to bring stuff over. So this is one of the lines that we have in for fall already. I'm going to come a little closer.
Oh, is this houndstooth?
This is a. She's so fashion smart. This is a great little yellow and black houndstooth. And you can feel this is just like a brushed cotton for fall.
Oh, it's very soft.
And it's got stretch.
Ooh, I love stretch.
Yeah.
Stretch is very forgiving.
So do my customers, because it is very forgiving. Hides a lot of sins, gives you a lot of comfort, and this particular line, this is Masons from Italy. We're the only shop in Rhode Island to carry Masons. These are in now. These are going to sell out. These are because they're on the table and guys are grabbing them already.
They've clearly got the Italian little label on them. Yeah. So how'd you come in with to this line? Is it the shows in New York? Is it going to Italy? Where do you get your Italian base?
Well, I get the Italian base from just my experience. And I just got back from New York last Thursday for buying for spring of next year.
Yes, you gotta buy.
You gotta buy. I'm buying already. So these are lines that you have. If you're in the business, you should be aware of. And when you go into a showroom like this, you just buy it. And then what happens is you go into a showroom that has that, and they'll add something new. Like they also have in this particular showroom a beautiful line from Japan that are all Japanese fabrics, Japanese pants, made in Japan that we'll be getting this fall as well. So it's all a matter of exploring and finding new things. That's the best part of my
So
job.
I love talking fashion and I love talking business. I mean, how it's like any retailer dealing with inventory. You get someone who comes in. I mean, how many of these pants do you have? And then do you have the ability of someone, or is it can you order more or not?
Certain things I can order more. So let's take this particular pant. This is not. I'm not unable to get more. This is something that when I ordered it last January. What they get for orders from guys like me and other stores around the country, that's what they cut in this particular fabric.
Okay.
They have other things that they do stock, but this particular thing, this is very particular. So I probably have 6 pair of this, and there's 6 pair of something else, and 6 pair of something else, and already these are disappearing.
And when they go, they go.
And that's it. And then we'll always get more things in, but that's I like to keep it limited because it keeps it exclusive and it keeps it. Rhode Island's a very small state. I don't want to have 2 guys at the same party walking in with the same pair of pants, so we try to avoid that whenever possible.
So I see, I spy a tie.
So
or is it, you want to show the full with the jacket?
Well,
and
I
shirt
would
and the
like
tie?
to, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about this.
Ooh.
So this is exactly what I was talking about just a moment ago. This is a beautiful flannel. Now I know it feels very heavy because it's about 1,000 degrees in this room. So right now it feels very heavy. It feels like a bearskin rug, but it's actually a beautiful, soft Italian flannel. And what I love about this is any guy can wear this suit. And from a few feet away, it looks like a solid. So it's very subtle. But what we did was we did this with a very soft shoulder. There's almost no shoulder pad in here, so it's going to fit on his body better. It's going to sit on his body as opposed to it raising above him.
Do you see that a lot more? Do you see a lot more deconstructed jackets?
This isn't totally deconstructed. I do sell a lot of deconstructed jackets. That's a great point. But this is not completely deconstructed. There is some construction
I
in
can
here.
feel a little construction, yeah.
But it's light, and it still looks better on than these giant shoulder pads that you have seen for many, many years. And what we did with this lapel is we did this in a peak lapel, which gives it a little bit more youthful, a little bit more forward, a little bit more of a fashion feel, for lack of a better word. I'm in love with this. You can wear this with a white shirt, a blue shirt, a pattern shirt, a solid shirt. You can wear this with anything. So what we did was...
Will we be seeing Jim Fortier outfitted in this come November?
No, I have something else coming though. So what I did was I paired it with this. This is gorgeous.
Ooh.
So this is our shirt line from Italy. This is private label. This is all. I select all the fabrics, design the shirt. It's made in Italy just for us. This is something we work very, very hard on. And this particular piece of neckwear here is one of the oldest neckwear manufacturers in Italy.
Oh, wow.
They're from Milan, and it's called Nicky. We're the only store in Rhode Island to have it, and their neckwear tends to be non-traditional, but still conservative.
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
A little fun.
A little fun, and that's what...
Just enough whimsy.
Just enough whimsy, just enough, that's what Blueprint 5 is about. Just enough whimsy, just enough so that it's not so traditional that you feel like you're getting something that you've always seen before, but that's a little updated and a little bit fresh feeling, so I really love this combination.
This is lovely. So let's talk about the brown and the blue tie. I mean, can you wear this really with anything? What color schematic would you?
You can wear this with navy, you can wear this with gray, you can wear this with blue. There really isn't a lot. You probably can't wear it with black.
That's the only thing that would probably be the...
But this is really beautiful and lush and simple, and it's not in your face, but there's enough of a pattern there that it's interesting, and I just am in love with these. I opened up all these ties, and I'm just so excited.
Well, what's your take on, haberdashery, if you will, like the mixing the prints? Some people do it, some people don't. And what's your thought on that?
It depends on the customer.
Okay.
I prefer, like this is a pattern tie, and I would put it with that suit that we just looked. I would put it with the solid. I would put it. I'm all about pattern on pattern on pattern. It happens to be a very sophisticated way of dressing. You just have to know how to do it. You have to know that you want to have different size patterns. You don't want to have the same exact size. You maybe want to have different patterns. You might want to have a plaid, and then you might want to have a dot.
Do you have customers who ask you about that?
Yeah, of course.
Like they like a piece here, do you like a piece there? Are you pretty honest?
I'm very honest. To a
Like-
fault. To a fault.
That's fine, that shirt.
Not happening. No, I've actually put, and then that's funny because I will put people in clothes that I think they're going to look good on, and somebody will put something on and say, you got to take that off. It just doesn't work. I would rather do that and be honest with them than have them leave the shop thinking that they look great when in reality they don't.
Yeah.
That's my reputation on the line.
That is true.
I don't want to lie.
That's true. So lots of fun fall pieces, as you said, all coming into the store. Anything else you want folks to know looking ahead towards fall?
Well, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, like I said, I just got back from New York, so that's amazing. It's crazy, beautiful things. The second thing is we're still running a Supreme pop-up shop in the store until probably the mid or third week of August. That'll be over soon, but it's still exciting if you know somebody who's into Supreme or Bape or Yeezys or Off-White. Those brands are still at the store. We're the only store in the area within miles that has the kind of product available that you can actually come in and take a look at. So that's exciting. But the most important thing that's happening at the shop this year is the introduction of this particular line. So Mauro Blasi is a young man whose father was one of the 5 original Neapolitan tailors, and his father's name was Angelo. And Angelo unfortunately passed away, but Mauro has gone on to keep this company alive on his own and put his own label on it. So what you're looking at here is something very unusual, because this suit in this very expensive Loro Piana fabric is all made by hand.
Wow.
So the buttonholes are all made by hand. This lapel, the pick stitching is all done by hand. Everything that's done inside along here is all done by hand.
Now, what's this material?
This is 100% wool.
It's 100% wool, but it's got a very light feel. Almost, I don't want to say it feels cotton, but the PK is just it's so unbelievably light.
Yeah, this is a Loro Piana fabric. This is a handmade suit. This is very, very expensive. Now, why is this important to me in the store and Rhode Island? This gentleman is probably one of the 5 premier Italian tailors from Naples, Italy, and you can get him exclusively at Blueprint 5, and we're having a function in October where he's actually coming over from Italy. We're going to have a trunk show event for 2 days. You can meet him, you can get measured by him, you can select fabrics, you can have anything you want made. He'll make anything for you. He'll be measuring you in the shop for an absolutely perfect fit. If you like real Neapolitan tailoring, this is the place to be. So I'm super excited about this.
So I know I was asking about the other jacket. I mean, how many of these suits are we going to see Jim Fortier in this year?
So I am having a jacket made. When I saw him last week in New York, he measured me for a sport jacket, which he'll be bringing in
And
October.
you'll be wearing that when you have him in the...
I won't be wearing it because when he brings it over, he'll be coming. We'll be doing a fitting.
Oh, you'll be doing a fitting there.
We're doing a fitting at the store. So, but probably he'll end up leaving it, and my tailor will probably finish that off.
I have experienced your tailor firsthand.
Tony, yes you have. Oh, I forgot your umbrella. You left your umbrella at my shop. So this is really exciting, and it just continues to get better at Blueprint 5. We're coming into our 4th year now, which I'm shocked. And we try to keep doing it better, try to make things better, try to get better product, deliver better service all the time, and this is certainly top notch. This is some of the best in the world. So really.
So I have to ask you, because you just came from New York, and
Yes.
it's amazing. It's just how the industry has worked for years. But to the average layperson, you've already looked ahead. You've put the glasses on. You've seen into spring.
Mm-hmm.
Any little hints as to what spring has in store?
Spring, I haven't figured that out yet where we're going, but a little more whimsy, a little less serious, especially with spring. Super light jackets. When I say super light, I mean completely unconstructed. Josh will love them. No shoulder pad. Jackets made with that have the fabric itself has been printed. There's no construction in it, and there's stretch. So they're super, super comfortable. It's like wearing nothing at all. We've got a couple of new lines coming in next spring that I think are going to be absolutely fabulous. So yeah, there's more to come.
Blueprint 5 continuing to grow, but again, some amazing products. It looks like here for the fall. It's just how the fashion works. It's July 31st. I'm sure there's kids itching to get back to school.
Oh,
and
I'm
there's
sure. Somewhere.
And there's men looking for very amazing fashions that are going to be at Blueprint 5 and starting to come in. So.
Sure.
We appreciate, as always, you're taking the time to come in and give us the cutting-edge take on men's fashion here in Rhode Island from around the world. Jim Fortier, thanks for taking the time to come in.
Thanks, Kate. Always a pleasure.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute to wrap up here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm Go Local News editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for joining us this Tuesday afternoon. It has been a busy one. Rachel Nunes was up at 3 o'clock with 5 guests, I believe, talking tech and more. 4 o'clock usually kicks off with politics, but we tacked over to Washington, where the Cranston National Budlong Little League girls softball under 14 team is actually playing right now. We caught them in right before warm-ups as they're going to be playing Texas. They've split 2 games so far. They've got another against Puerto Rico this week in pool play, but they'll be there all week out in Washington. We want to wish the girls of summer well from here in Rhode Island. Of course, Jennifer Lawless, UVA professor, talking politics between developments in North Korea, what Rudy Giuliani's been saying to the press, what we can possibly expect from Bob Woodward's new book about the White House, and more. Speaking of the White House, we did have Mike Stenhouse with the Rhode Island Center for Freedom and Prosperity in to talk about recent numbers about the economy's growth. He was making the case for conservative policies. And then finally talking about the business of fashion with Jim Fortier with Blueprint 5. It's July 31st, but of course, fall fashions are filling up the stores already. He gave us a little bit of the insights as to what to expect from Blueprint 5 and men's fall fashion here in the studio. So thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us on golocalprov.com and on Facebook. We look forward to seeing you back here in studio tomorrow on the Navigant Credit Union broadcast.